What does it all mean? This is where the archaeology has been found. Oh, hi, how are you?
Well, look at that.
I need a planter.
A shrine to a belly button.
This is a rock of salt? Look at that.
No one gets into this place.
No one.
Nice. Whoa, don't take me too far.
Now that's naked archaeology.
Sound set. Rolling.
Well, what's this? Checking up? Absolutely. Scientific art of beauty. The latest from Loveliness Laboratories.
Today, looking fabulous, smelling fabulous is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They sell us makeup, perfumes, all kinds of stuff, and what they're really selling us is the promise of a better life. But how important was it to look fabulous in biblical times? And what can archaeology tell us about the beauty industry in the ancient world? My first clue comes from the Talmud, the Jewish book of rabbinic law, where it clearly says that husbands in ancient Israel had to provide a monthly allowance to their wives so that they could buy makeup. But I plan to take that rabbinic law one step further by making my own ancient cosmetics for my beautiful wife, Nicole. But first, I'm going to need to do some research. So I'm going on a quest to uncover the beauty secrets of the ancient world's most beautiful women. And who better to start with than Queen Nefertiti? Nefertiti was married to Pharaoh Akhenaten back in the 14th century BCE. And ever since archaeologists uncovered her bust, now on display at the Berlin Museum, Nefertiti's name has become synonymous with ancient beauty. To learn more about Nefertiti's beauty secrets, I'm meeting with Nefertiti expert Michelle Moran. You're the Nefertiti expert.
Well, I like to think of myself as very knowledgeable about Nefertiti. I did write a book on it.
She was a beaut, wasn't she?
She was an incredible beauty.
Her name, Nefertiti, means...
The perfect or beautiful one has come.
I gotta tell you, there's very few, busts from the ancient world that are jaw-dropping. And Nefertiti, the first time I saw her, my jaw dropped.
It truly is one of those experiences. When you look at her and you see the crown sweeping off her forehead, her high cheekbones, small smile on her lips, she looks like someone who could be on a modern-day catwalk.
According to Michelle Moran, Nefertiti shaved her head bald. You see, back in the ancient world, head lice was a scourge that caused all sorts of sickness and disease. So to protect themselves, both Egyptian men and women shaved their heads completely, and then compensated by wearing fake beards and wigs.
If you were Nefertiti, you would start off your day putting on your Nubian wig, which was cut high in the back and came to a point under your chin. After your Nubian wig, you would then apply kohl, streaks of dark black kohl, K-O-H-L, to your eye. And that was partly cosmetic and partly because it kept the sun from glaring in your eyes. It was acted as a reflector.
Not to be confused with coal, the fossil fuel. Ancient coal was an eye paint similar to modern-day eyeliner. It was made by grinding lead sulfite into a fine powder and then mixing it with castor oil. Painting eyelids with coal not only gave the appearance of bigger and brighter eyes, it also protected against the harsh desert sun. The only drawback was that coal also caused lead poisoning and death. But that still didn't stop the Egyptians from making kohl the most popular form of makeup in the ancient world. And at the Bible Lands Museum in Jerusalem, they have a sarcophagus that shows exactly how an Egyptian woman would have painted her face with kohl 3,000 years ago.
It's clearly a high-class, wealthy woman who was buried in a very elaborately designed coffin with a very elaborately painted face. And it's probably a perfect example of an Egyptian woman, how she paints her face. There's a black liner above and below. The eyebrows are painted as well. We're very...
But that was the aristocracy, right?
No, not really. Everybody was using some cosmetics. Cheaper or more expensive, it doesn't matter. They were using cosmetics on a daily basis.
From Egypt, kohl soon spread out to the rest of the ancient world, and women from Babylon to Jerusalem were soon painting themselves with kohl. These ancient kohl containers attest to that. Found all over Israel and the Near East, these containers were absolutely essential to an ancient woman's basic makeup kit. And some of them are even small enough to fit into a modern woman's handbag. I feel like I have enough background to start learning how to make my own line of ancient cosmetics for my wife. Now I need to go shopping for the right ingredients, and I have to find a recipe for kohl that won't lead to lead poisoning. I'm on a quest to find out how people back in biblical times kept themselves looking beautiful. And I figure the best way to do that is to make my own line of ancient cosmetics to give to my wife. Especially since I found out that providing makeup for my wife corresponds to ancient rabbinic law. But first, I'm going to need the right ingredients. So I'm meeting with Dorit Cohen at the market in downtown Jerusalem. She's a makeup artist and an expert in ancient cosmetics, and she's agreed to take me shopping.
We're in the marketplace. Can you show a wide shot of the marketplace? Can you see we're in Jerusalem? I'm here with the lovely makeup artist and expert in ancient makeup, and she's brought me here. So I suspect that maybe in ancient days they put potatoes all over their faces. See over there, or maybe rice, or maybe chicken. They first smushed the chicken on their faces, and then they ate them. Am I right?
Yeah, they ate one each other because they were very tasty.
They licked the chicken off each other's faces.
Yeah.
No, you don't really mean that, do you?
No.
According to Dorit, there's only a few natural ingredients I'll need to make my own line of makeup. First on the list is almonds. It's a healthy substitute for the lead the ancients used when they made kohl.
Okay, in those days, they used to take the almonds, burn them, and then it turned to be black. And then they're going to use it for eyes and eyebrow.
Wow, that sounds cool.
It was healthy and beautiful.
Next, I'll need to pick up some olive oil, which the ancients used as a base for all their cosmetics.
Look, olive oil. We got olive oil here.
Yeah.
Extra virgin olive oil. Although I have to confess, I never understood, how do they know? How do they know?
They know what?
Never mind.
Last but not least is honeycomb, which the ancients used to make their own lip balms and skin creams.
We found it, the honeycomb.
We've now gathered the basic ingredients to make my own line of ancient cosmetics. But just as we're leaving the market, we run into my old friend, who has a few beauty secrets of his own.
She's a makeup expert. And I'm buying all kinds of natural things with her advice. Look at this.
Now, it's skin magic from etrog. You see etrog?
It's skin magic.
It makes you new in 20 seconds. Okay,
Look, I want to explain what he's talking about. This is an etrog. An etrog is a citron. It's the granddaddy of the modern lemon and lime. And Jewish people use it during the Feast of Tabernacles. What my buddy here does is he makes a special juice out of it, which rejuvenates you. All the stuff you can eat and you can shmush it. This you put on your face?
No.
This you don't put on your face?
No, this is on the bread.
On the bread. Yeah. This is on the bread. See, doesn't he? Doesn't he look good? He's 97 years old. He uses these products. I mean, right? How old are you?
68.
I now have the basic ingredients I need to make my own line of ancient cosmetics. But to learn how to put these ingredients together, I'm meeting with Suri Provisor at the Ein Yael Living Museum in Jerusalem. She's going to teach me how to make my own perfume, a protective skin balm, and a version of ancient kohl that won't cause lead poisoning. It's kohl that we're starting with first.
The ancient Egyptians, they always wanted the most exclusive stones and everything because they were kings. To make their kachal, they didn't use almonds. That was only part of the recipe. They used lead, copper, malachite, chrysocolla. Very unhealthy.
Lead is not good for you.
Not really. It's what lead poisoning comes from.
Yeah.
First step is roasting the almonds.
Do I burn it? One sec.
Burn it. Where's the stick?
Do you want me to burn it totally?
I want you to totally char it. They're ready.
Okay, it's ready.
I think it's ready.
What a guy.
Now that I've charred the almonds black, I have to grind them down into a paste by mixing them with almond oil.
You know, they say that the men wear as much makeup as the women.
Suri has just told me that even men wore coal back in biblical times. In fact, tradition says that the biblical Joseph was betrayed and sold into slavery by his brothers because he dressed in a multicolored coat and painted his eyes with coal, just like the men did in ancient Egypt.
Look at this. This stuff is eyeliner.
I now have my first ancient cosmetic product to give to my wife, an all-natural version of coal made out of almonds. But according to Suri, in ancient times, the real secret to beauty started with preserving the skin's natural radiance. And even today, the best way to do that is by rolling around in the special mud that's found in the Dead Sea in Israel. So I'm going to the Dead Sea to find out why the mud there is supposed to make people beautiful.
Now, why are you guys all muddied up?
We ran out of sunscreen. Good for the skin.
Yes. So how long do you keep it on?
We're drying.
Now, have you done this before?
Maybe 4 times.
Really? And I mean, are you really like 70 years old?
The reason why the Dead Sea mud is supposed to be so good for you is that it's jam-packed with salts and minerals that nourish the skin. In fact, when the famous Cleopatra found out about the beautifying benefits of the Dead Sea, she almost started a war over it with Herod the Great.
Don't you find it frightening?
No.
I'm on a quest to uncover the ancient world's most coveted beauty secrets by creating my own ancient cosmetic products to give to my wife. But looking back, in ancient times, beauty wasn't just about decorating your face, it was about keeping the skin looking young and healthy. And in ancient times, one of the best ways to do that was by smushing your face with the mud that's found in the Dead Sea in Israel. Even the Jewish historian FLAVIUS Josephus, back in the 1st century CE, recorded that the Dead Sea was known for its beauty secrets, including the fruit of the persimmon trees, which were used to make perfume in ancient times. In fact, when the famous Cleopatra found out about the beautifying benefits of the Dead Sea, she almost started a war over it with Herod the Great. Cleopatra eventually opened up the ancient world's first beauty factory on the shores of the Dead Sea, combining local mud with secret ingredients. But to find out if the Dead Sea mud was actually worth Cleopatra's trouble, I'm meeting with the experts from the Ahava Mud Laboratory, where they have taken the science of beautifying mud to a whole new level.
Wow, this is a real lab. This is not kidding around. Is it a secret recipe?
Yeah.
Who knows the secret?
Just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm very proud of you guys. Because really, what do you have here? You only have mud and stones. There's no way you could have sold stones to the world, right? So you sold the mud. Come over here. The Naked Archaeologist goes where no archaeologists are here. Come over here.
Here, at the Ahava Laboratory, they mix the Dead Sea mud with their own secret ingredients and then sell it to the rest of the world. To find out what those secret ingredients are, I'm going to try and infiltrate Ahava's production process, and I hope that no one catches on.
Look how it's coming over there, see? They're sealing the mud.
My cover gets blown when I can't seem to keep the mud from spilling out of the packages.
I have to talk to you about the sealing process.
And before I know it, the experts are showing me out the back door. But I still want to find out for myself if the Dead Sea mud really works. So I've arranged for my own private mud testing. And after letting it cake onto one side of my face, I'm anxious to see if it leaves me looking younger.
Sorry, which side is different?
This side is the right side.
How much younger does the right side look from the 20 on this side?
Yeah. On the right side, you're 20, and this side, maybe 40.
20 years difference?
Yeah.
Don't just dig into the ground, smush it on your face.
Smushing mud on your face wasn't the only way to preserve the skin's natural glow back in ancient times. You could also rub your face with balms made out of all natural ingredients.
It leaves a soft, invisible film that protects your skin from more germs for 12 hours.
Since I want some kind of skin protection to add to the cosmetics I'm going to give my wife, I'm going back to Suri to teach me how to make balm out of beeswax. We start out by mixing dried roses and myrtle with the extra virgin olive oil I picked up in the market.
Okay, we're gonna melt the beeswax now in a double boiler. I'm gonna put in some water in this pot. Here's the beeswax.
Can I?
Sure, you may. No. Use water on the bottom and use another pan.
Oh, I see.
Here, we're gonna take it over to the fire and we're gonna melt the beeswax.
Look at that, it's melting.
There you go. Okay, now let's mix this quickly.
Oh, this is hardening fast.
It's hardening very, very quickly.
As the beeswax and the scented oil cool, they harden together and become a kind of wax that naturally protects the skin. Look at that. I've just learned how to make balm out of all natural ingredients. So, I now have my second ancient beauty product to give my wife. But then, in ancient times, beauty wasn't just about looking good, it was about smelling good too. Even back in biblical times, no one wanted to hang around someone who smelled like a dirty ass. If I'm going to complete my line of ancient cosmetics, I'm going to have to learn the ancient art of perfume making. I'm trying to complete my own line of ancient cosmetics to give to my beautiful wife. So far, I have a healthy version of ancient kohl and a skin balm that's made out of honeycomb. But no line of beauty products can be complete without my own perfume. So I'm getting Suri to help me learn how to make a perfume out of the same ingredients the ancients would have used to make theirs.
Let's make some perfume.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is balsam.
This is amazing.
This is myrrh and frankincense.
What is it?
It's a resin. These are tree resins.
Contrary to popular belief, frankincense and myrrh aren't spices. They're actually the dried sap resins of trees, and in the ancient world, they were the scents of choice. The Bible illustrates this fact in the book of Esther. In it, Esther is a Jewish girl in the harem of the Persian king, Ahasuerus. But back then, concubines weren't allowed to actually meet the king until they were marinated for 6 months in skin treatments using perfumed oils made from frankincense and myrrh. And it must have worked for Esther, because when the king finally did meet her, he fell in love with her and made her the Jewish queen of Persia. And it's this kind of perfume that Suri is teaching me how to make.
Oh, we're gonna make perfume.
We're gonna crush these things and put them in olive oil.
First, I have to crush up the frankincense and myrrh.
I'm making perfume for my babe. Yoopy doopy doopy liddy.
And then stir them together with olive oil over an open flame. And after straining it all, I have my own version of perfume that smells amazing.
All my insides are opening up.
Perfume, made by yours truly. Since I'm planning to give this perfume to my wife, I need to find something a little classier to put it in. So I'm off to meet with Robert Deutsch. He's an antiquities dealer who has a fabulous collection of ancient perfume bottles. I'm going to try and talk him into letting me borrow one.
Here we have oil juglets from the Iron Age period, made of black and gray terracotta. They are from the time of the kings of Israel.
Terracotta means what?
Clay, fired clay.
We're talking about something that's 800 years old. You can still see the earth.
This black juglet, because it's pointed at the bottom, that's why it's from the Iron Age too, which is 1000 to 900 BC, from the time of King David.
It's truly, truly amazing.
The Book of Kings tells the story of King David. He grew up as a shepherd boy. He defeated Goliath in battle. And then he fell in love with the beautiful Bathsheba when he saw her bathing on a nearby roof. And so I'm sold. this jug is the perfect container for the perfume I made for my wife. The oil jar that may have been used to anoint King David, or maybe to pour into Bathsheba's bath on the roof when King David went absolutely gaga over her. My buddy Robert wasn't about to let me walk out of there with a perfume bottle for free, but I did manage to get him to cut me a deal. I'm looking at the price. Not bad for something that's old.
For you, half price.
So far, it's been a good day. Not only have I found artifacts that show me how ancients made themselves beautiful, but I've also made my own cosmetics, including a skin balm, kohl, and perfume, and all in accordance with ancient rabbinic law. So now, there's only one thing left to do. Take it all home to my wife, Nicole. Makeup expert Dorit Cohen has come along for the ride so that she can apply my ancient makeup products exactly the same way a woman would have worn them back in ancient times. Honey, I'm home. Dorit starts with balm and then paints my wife's eyes with my all-natural kohl.
Now we're gonna move to the ochre. I'm gonna use it for the cheekbones, and then I'm gonna take a little bit oil from your stuff, and I'm gonna make it for the lipstick.
Lipstick?
Yeah.
Whoa. And after a few final touch-ups, we're finally ready for the big reveal. Hey, come on in. Well, how does Mommy look?
Ancient.
Yeah? She looks ancient? What? Nicole's ancient makeover is such a success that it's a shame not to share it. So maybe I should market my brand of all-natural cosmetics to the rest of the world. Naked makeup. Go on. Smush it on your face.